Find your way to a seated cross-legged position, Sukhasana. If that's not comfortable, extend the legs straight forward or sit on a pillow, anything that enables you to lengthen the spine so that you're rooting down through the tailbone, through the sitting bones, and lengthening the spine upwards towards the crown of the head. And as you start to draw your awareness inwards towards posture, you might also notice the breath. Maybe not changing the breath so much just yet, but observing it so that you know your patterns of breathing, your habits of breathing. Do you tend to breathe with the upper portion of the chest? Or do you draw the breath down towards the lower belly, which is, of course, what you want for deep belly breathing? Sometimes when you say lift from the crown of the head, you'll actually lift from your chin, drawing the chin upwards towards the ceiling, but chin is parallel to the earth. Although the eyes are closed, your gaze would be set on the horizon. Lengthen along the back of the neck, soften through the front of the throat. Lengthen the sides of the neck, so drawing the shoulders down away from the ears. Soften all of the muscles of the face and the jaw. Bring your awareness back to the breath once again. A more focused emphasis on deep belly breathing and ujjayi breathing if that's something that you practice. See if you can keep your upper chest, your collarbones, your shoulders soft and still as you inhale and draw the breath downwards into the belly. Breathe in for a count of 4. And breathe out for a count of 4. As you exhale, notice the upper portion of your chest. Although it's soft and still when you breathe in, at the very top of the inhale, take that extra little sip of air right at the top of the collarbones. And as you exhale, not slumping the shoulders, not rounding the chest, but rather maintaining that long spine. Recall the intention that you set. And on your next inhale, sit a little bit taller. Anchor the sitting bones down, rise up crown of the head and the highest points of the ears. As you exhale, soften the chin to the chest, round the shoulders forward, draw the belly towards the spine. Pause here as you stretch through the upper back and the mid back. Lengthen through the back of the neck. And on your next inhale, pull the hands against the knees, lift your heart center, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Exhale, chin to the chest, soften the shoulders forward. Inhale, heart center lifts, shoulder blades descend. Exhale as you round. And from here, move into spinal rotations. So draw the chest forward on your inhale, round your spine as you breathe out. Keep the sitting bones anchored so that the side body stays long. The spine remains long. And on your next inhale, change the direction. And allow the rotations to get smaller and smaller and smaller. Find your way back to a center line. Take another inhale, rise up, crown of the head, and at the top of your inhale, suspend your breath. Notice your state of mind with breath retention. Then slowly and patiently exhale. Exhale, continue exhaling, empty out the lungs completely. Feel the belly draw back towards the spine. And then allow your breath to settle into its natural rhythm. Can open the eyes and we'll take a gentle stretch, just walking forward. Sitting bones remain anchored. You can pop up onto the fingertips, sort of drag your torso a little bit further forward. And when you're tenting the fingertips, the collarbones remain broad. Shoulders soften down away from the ears. Side body lengthening. And with the collarbones remaining long and broad, the breath remains deep, downwards lower belly. And walk your way back up through center. Plant the right hand, take the left arm up and along the plane of your cheek. Either look forward or bring the gaze towards the ceiling. And if the floor sort of presents itself, you don't want to reach for it, but you might take your forearm to the mat. And actively press your right hand down. Actively stretch through the left fingertips. You can visualize the ring and middle finger, baby finger side of the hand lengthening so that you get that stretch through the inner seam of the arm. And with an inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale to a spinal twist facing left. Take your right hand to the left knee. Stay up on the left fingertips and keep the left fingertips close to your tailbone so you're not leaning back into the hand. Fingertips tenting. Lift from the crown of the head. And if you can, align your nose with your belly button. So you're not twisting any further than that. It gives an indication of how much you're rotating through the mid-back, the rib cage. And return to center. Plant your left hand, stretch the right arm up and along the plane of the cheek, reaching from middle, ring, and baby finger side of the arm. As you push into your lower hand, you can feel the right rib cage fan open as you stretch the intercostal muscles between the ribs. Inhale all the way back up. Left hand comes to the right knee, turn to face right. Rise up onto right fingertips, fingertips close to the tailbone. Align the nose with the navel. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and rotate the rib cage around the axis of the spine. Unwind back to center. Uncross your legs, plant your feet, drop the knees out over to the right. Inhale back up through center, drop your knees over to the left. Inhale back up through center, knees come over to the right, and you'll walk your fingertips in closer to the tailbone. Take your left hand to the right knee and another gentle twist facing right. Come back up through center, bring your knees up towards the ceiling, drop them over to the left. Walk your way up towards the tailbone. Right hand, left knee. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale to twist. Come back up through center, knees to the sky. Then swing your legs over to the right. Come onto your hands and knees. Spread out the fingers, turn your toes under, align the shoulders over the wrists, and begin to move through cat-cow. So as you take an inhale, lift your sitting bones, squeeze the shoulder blades down the back, draw your gaze forward, round out the spine, chin to the chest, press your shoulder blades towards the sky. Move through cat-cow as though it is the very first time that you've practiced. So your beginner's perspective. The gaze of a beginner starts to move down through the length of the spine. Feel the vertebrae separating. Take one more inhale. Arch. Exhale and round, and slide the hips back towards the heels. Rise up onto your fingertips. Drag the torso a little bit further forward. So forearms are off the mat. Crown of the head reaches towards the thumbs. So be mindful of not dropping the head towards the floor, rather lengthening through the back of the neck. Press into the heel of the hands to slide the hips back towards your feet. And take 3 more deep breaths into your lower back. You can visualize my hand on your lower back. Draw the breath inwards into my hand. Stretching all of those postural muscles that run vertically along the length of the spine that keep your torso upright throughout the course of a day. They definitely deserve a good stretch. Then walk the hands in towards you, fold forward over the legs, keep your knees soft. Again, long through the back of the neck. Shift forward and back, massage the feet. And as you come to center, take opposite hand to elbow. Draw the chin towards the chest again, unless that makes you feel dizzy, in which case you could look forward. Actively pull your elbows towards the floor, press your feet into the mat, and feel a lengthening through the back of the legs as you lift the sitting bones towards the sky. If the knees are bent, maybe you start to straighten them out. Take the opposite clasping of your arms so that the other hand is on the bottom, and shift forward and back and side to side. Return to neutral. Take a look at your feet. Align the outer edges of your feet with the outer edges of the mat. Gently lift the arches of the feet. So really wake up your feet. When you do that, maybe you see the veins sort of popping softly upwards in the tops of the feet. Start to awaken some of those smaller muscles. And then release the arms and take your hands to your lower back. Pull your elbows towards each other. Draw the shoulders away from the ears as you rise up. Breathing in, send your tailbone towards the floor and lift your heart center. Take an extra breath here. Draw the spine upwards out of the lower back. Exhale, send the tailbone forward. Then come back through center. Interlace your hands behind you. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Reach the knuckles of the hands towards the floor. Inhale, lift your gaze. Exhale, come just halfway down. Float the arms up off the back. Soften the chin towards the chest, only enough that the back of the neck is long. Look at your feet. See if they've changed. Keep them aligned with the outer edges of your mat. Drop your left shoulder towards the floor. Bend your left knee. Look to the right. Keep floating the arms up and try not to lean right. So you're turning right, but not leaning right. Then back through center. Bend your right knee, drop your right shoulder, look to the left. Same idea, try not to lean left. You're just turning left. Then back up through center. Fold forward over the legs, lift the arms up a little bit higher, then lift the knuckles of your hands towards the sky. Attempt to pull your hands apart without actually doing so, and notice how this influences the widening of your collarbones. And release your hands to the mat, walk forward. Downward facing dog. If you're not a big fan of downward facing dog, you might come into a child's pose. This is, after all, your practice. Pause and hold here. Bring your drishti, your breath, or rather your drishti, to your breath. Still drawing the breath downwards into the lower belly as you inhale. And as you exhale, pull the belly towards the spine. At the very end of that exhale, engage your abdominals. So gentle contraction of the abdominals, they already engage, but you can support that natural contraction. And rise up high onto the balls of the feet. Look forward, make your way to the top of the mat. When you get there, fold over the legs. Hold on to the backs of the legs, and rather than just pulling your torso towards your thighs, pull upwards towards the calf muscles or the knees. Release the legs, and with a heavy torso, round your way up one vertebra at a time. So the shoulders and the head rise up last. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Take an inhale, stretch the arms up overhead, interlace your fingers, and exhale, hinge to your right. Gazes forward or up towards the ceiling, but either way, you can rest your head on the lower arm. And with your lower hand, gently tug on the upper one. Begin to work the palms of the hands towards each other. And engage your abdominals. Take an inhale, rise up. Exhale, hinge over to your left. Rest the head on the lower arm. Look either forward or up. Breathe into the right rib cage and root down through the right foot. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale and fold forward over the legs. We'll practice Surya Namaskara A, Sun Salutation A. Take an inhale, lift halfway up, draw the gaze slightly forward, step back, downward facing dog. The exhale draws the heels towards the mat. We'll take an extra breath in each pose, so not rushing. Rise up high onto the palms of the feet, and you're rippling the way forward to a plank position. Feel that engagement of your abdominals. If when you come forward, the shoulders are over the wrist, adjust by walking your feet back. You can always take your knees to the mat. Draw the belly to the spine. Look at the creases of your elbows. Without moving the hands, rotate the creases of the elbows to face forward. Another breath in, navel to the spine. Engage your glutes, and as you exhale, slowly lower down. Chaturanga, your low push-up. See if you can lower for a count of 4. Once you get there, pop up onto the fingertips again. Lift your elbow points towards the sky. Inhale and rise up. Just a gentle lift. Visualize your tailbone, send it down towards the feet. Take your awareness, your drishti, to front hip bones. Press them downwards into the mat. Press into the fingertips. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Activate your legs. Reach the toes back and try to reach from the baby toe side of the foot. One more inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale to soften down. Turn the toes under, hands under your shoulders. Press back, child's pose or tabletop. So you can be all 4 or in balasana, child's pose. And rise up into downward facing dog. Look at your feet, align the feet with the outer edges of the mat. Soften the crown of the head towards the thumbs. Bring your awareness to your breath. And rise up high onto the balls of the feet. Look forward, step to the top of the mat, lift halfway up once you arrive, and fold forward over the legs. Let's add on here, bend your knees, take an inhale, Utkatasana, arms reach up. Exhale, sink the hips down a little bit lower. So you want to adjust both the position of the arms and the depth of the bend in your knees so that you have no tension in the lower back. Draw the navel to the spine, send your tailbone towards the floor. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, deepen the bend in your knees. Reach the fingertips forward, so really elongating through the arms. Press into your feet. Inhale, rise all the way up. Interlace your hands overhead. Rotate the palms of the hands to the sky. Squeeze the biceps in towards the ears. Take your awareness to your front ribs, soften them back. Draw the hips forward. Squeeze the arms towards your head. See if you can actually plug your ears with your arms. And another inhale, press into your feet. Lift palms of the hands to the sky. Exhale, hinge over to your right. Then squeeze that upper arm in towards your ear. So pull the left arm firmly in. Inhale, back up through center. Exhale, hinge to your left. Inhale, back up through center. Separate your feet, lower the arms down, and take the awkward interlacing of your hands behind your back, the awkward feeling way. So the other index finger close to the tailbone. Take an inhale, lift your heart center, reach the knuckles of the hands towards the floor, and exhale, fold halfway down. Bend your right knee, drop your right shoulder. Turn to the left. Inhale, center, change sides. Turn to the right. Inhale, back up through center, fold forward over the legs. Lift the arms all the way up. Press firmly into the feet. And release the hands down, bend the knees, Utkatasana, take an inhale. Exhale, deepen that bend in your knees. So finding the strength and stamina to follow through with your goals. Another inhale. Exhale as you fold. Take an inhale, lift halfway up, elongate the spine. Step back, downward facing dog. This is our last Surya Namaskara. So lift up high, balls of the feet. Ripple your spine forward to a plank position. Adjust the feet if you need to. Another breath in, activate the glutes. Navel to the spine. Exhale, slowly lower. You can always bring the knees down. Again, rise up onto your fingertips, elbow points towards the sky. Take an inhale and lift your heart center. So you can bring the hands quite wide off the mat. They're not in close. My fingertips are even all the way off the mat. Activate your legs. Take another inhale, lengthen. And this time, drop your left shoulder down. Look to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, drop your left shoulder. Or switch that up. Inhale, back through center. Lift a little bit higher. Lengthen, strong through the legs. And exhale, soften down. Plant your hands, toes turned under. Slide back, child's pose or tabletop. 2 deep breaths into the low back. Lift up to downward facing dog. Press your torso back towards your thighs. Visualize an inverted V. 2 breaths here. Rise up onto your toes, look forward, find your way to the top of the mat. Once you arrive, lift halfway up, lengthen, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms overhead, and exhale, hands to the heart center. We'll slow things down just a little bit and move into a balancing posture, your classic Vrikshasana or tree pose. So plant your right hand, left foot lifts up, palms of the hands, heart center. And you know that you can take that left foot down a little bit lower or fingertips to a wall to help with balance if you need. So press your right leg into the foot. And then press the foot into the leg so that you're squeezing both inwards towards center. That right leg isn't just hanging out. Root down through the right foot, take an inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And as you exhale, release. Change sides. Right foot grounded, left foot lifts up. Find your drishti, focus the gaze. Push leg into the foot and foot into the leg. Inhale, arms float overhead. And exhale to release. We'll step to the top of the mat for a little bit of a flow. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, lift halfway up, lengthen your spine. Bend the knees, step your right foot back, warrior B. So plant the right foot, inhale, rise up, arms outstretched. Slide the right foot back as far as you can, staying stable, but at the same time finding a nice stretch through the inner thigh muscles and building some stamina in the front leg. Sink your feet downwards into the floor. Then press your feet into the mat and lengthen the spine upwards towards the sky. And then right hand comes down, turn your left palm to the ceiling. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, slide the hand down a little bit further. Inhale, back up through center. Side angle pose, forearm to the thigh. Stretch the left arm up and along the plane of the cheek. Inhale, back up, Virabhadrasana B, your warrior pose. And straighten out your right leg. Sink your feet into the floor. Inhale, reach your left fingertips to the sky. Slide the hand down towards the back of the knee. And inhale, back up through center. Reach to your left. Exhale, Trikonasana, triangle pose. So in the Ashtanga yoga practice, gaze here would be up at the thumb. Notice how much rotation is required of the neck and how much proprioceptive awareness of your body in space or balance otherwise, also required. And root down through the feet, take an inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, bring the hands to the hips. Pivot your right toes to face forward. Draw the elbows towards each other. Inhale and lift your heart center. Exhale and fold over the legs. Slide the hands down the legs. Soften the chin towards the chest. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Take a look at your feet. Align the outer edges of the feet with the outer edges of the mat. And awaken the feet by lifting through the inner arches. If you want to take opposite hand to elbow here, you can do that, but maintain that strength in the legs. When you root down through the feet, imagine that it's coming from the top of the thigh at the pelvis. That's really where the power of the legs is originating. So root down from the pelvis, down the quadriceps, calf muscles, and from there into the feet. Take an inhale, come on up. Exhale, hands to the hips. Another inhale, rise up. And toe heel the feet together. Step to the top of the mat. Another inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale and fold over the legs. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale, step your left foot back, plant the heel, rise up, Virabhadrasana B or warrior B pose, arms outstretched, and a nice wide stance between the feet. Squeeze the front knee towards the baby toe. Gaze is to the front middle fingernail. So very focused. Find that stability as you press your feet into the floor, sink downwards with the pull of gravity through the feet, then lengthen upwards through the spine while retaining that downward energy with the legs. Left hand comes down, take an inhale, reach your right hand up. Exhale, slide the left hand down towards the back of the knee. Inhale through center. Exhale, right hand, forearm to the thigh, left arm up and along the plane of the cheek. Inhale, back up through center. Straighten out your front leg. Sink your feet into the floor for balance. Drop your left hand down. Reach the right fingertips up. Exhale, again, slide the hand down towards the back of the knee. Inhale and rise up. Reach to your right, Uttita Trikonasana, triangle pose, left arm spins up. Soften the front ribs. Lengthen the lower side torso. Maybe attempt to look at the upper thumb, rotating through the neck, maintaining balance. One more breath. And take an inhale and come back up through center. Exhale, hands to the hips. Rotate all 10 toes to face forward. Draw your elbows towards each other. Inhale, lift your heart center. And exhale, come halfway down. Inhale, elongate the spine. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Slide the hands down the backs of the legs. When you slide the hands down the legs, take a slight bend in the elbows if you can, so that the elbows point outwards to the sides. Because gravity is helping to pull the torso closer to the floor, the shoulders really want to move towards the ears. The shoulder blades start to slide up towards the neck. So use your back muscles, pull the scapula, the shoulder blades down, pull the shoulders down away from the ears, and really fire up the legs. Lift the arches. We'll take 2 more breaths. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, hands to the hips. Press into your feet. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, a baby back bend. Lift your chest. And return to center. Toe heel your feet back to center. We'll make our way down to the mat. With an inhale, rise your arms up overhead. Exhale and fold forward over the legs. Inhale, lift and lengthen your spine. Step back, downward facing dog. 2 deep breaths. And bring your knees to the floor. Swing your legs over to the right side. Turn to face forward and take a wide angle with the legs. So separate your feet wide apart. Here again, if you had something to sit on, a pillow or a blanket, that can be really useful in terms of deepening that forward fold. If the hands are down the legs, if the feet aren't on carpet, then use your hands maybe to slide the feet a little bit wider apart. Drinking water all the way through this practice. So dry at this time of year. So reach the inner arches forward. Attempt to draw the baby toes and only the baby toes towards your ears, so that if the sole of the foot was connecting with the side wall, you would have that sole of the foot pressing evenly into the wall. If you want to walk the hands or the arms forward, you could rest your forearms or hands on a block or two. Try to internally rotate your thighs by softening the inner thighs down. Connect with that power that originates in the pelvis. So press the thigh bones forward, press the calf muscles forward, press the feet towards the side wall. So in some practices, this might be a really relaxed kind of stretch. But you can also practice in a way where you're quite active with the legs. And that's what we're doing here. Draw the breath downwards into the lower belly. And visualize your spine moving towards the heart center so that you don't have this big roundedness through the spine. Spine is moving forward towards the heart center. It's following the torso towards the earth. And we'll take 3 more deep breaths. And walk your way back up through center. Take the hands under the knees, guide the soles of your feet together, Baddha Konasana. Fold forward over the legs, and here, if you like, allow your spine to round. A couple ways of practicing this posture. You can have your heels really close to the pelvis, kind of walk your sitting bones forward, or you can have the heels forward, creating a diamond shape between the legs. Both are useful, they just target a different muscle group. Come back up through center, use your hands, guide the knees together, take a gentle spinal twist, wrap your left arm around, take the right hand behind. Tent the right fingertips, sit tall as you breathe in. Squeeze the knees towards each other and exhale to twist. Visualize rotating the rib cage around the axis of the spine. Inhale, return to center. Wrap your right arm around. Take the left hand in behind. Up on the left fingertips. Try to squeeze the knees together. Draw the torso towards your thighs. You're engaging your abdominals to do that. Another inhale, lift from the crown, highest points of the ears. And as you exhale, gently deepen that twist. And come back through center. Wrap the arms around the legs. Soften the chin towards the chest to give yourself a well-deserved hug. Visualize your shoulder blades separating away from each other, moving away from the spine as you stretch through the upper back. And come back up through neutral. Plant your hands, drop the knees out over to the right. You're familiar with this stretch. Walk the fingertips in towards your pelvis. Take left hand to the right knee. Sit tall, breathe in. As you exhale, a gentle twist and visualize the spine moving forward towards the heart center, almost as though you are doing a baby back bend here. Back up through neutral, knees to the sky. Exhale, drop your legs out over to the left. Walk the fingertips in towards the pelvis. Right hand, left knee, sit tall. Breathe in. Exhale and twist. Inhale, come back up through center. Knees to the sky. Turn and face the top of the mat. Make your way to your wall. Not quite going into Viparita Karani, legs up the wall pose just yet, but eventually getting there. And so you might want to also have the pillow for under your head, blanket to feel comfortable and warm, all of those things that I suggested. And extend the arms forward, soften the chin towards the chest. Arms here are active. Reach your fingertips firmly forward, round out through the upper back. Start to curl your way down for 10, 9. You can pause at 8. Drop the belly back towards the spine. Visualize a C shape with the spine. Extend the arms forward, press your shoulder blades back, and rise up. 9 and 10. Lower 9, 8, 7, 6. Get a sense for how 6 feels. It should not feel exactly like 8. A little bit more challenging. Maybe you start to feel those stabilizer muscles shaking a bit, and that's perfectly fine. Rise back up. 7, 9, 10. Curl your way down. 9, 8, 6, 5, 4. Pause. Press your spine towards the mat. Press the belly towards the spine. Extend the arms forward. Soften the gaze. And come on back up. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Curl down. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep your feet planted. 3, 2. Pause here. Reach the fingertips forward. Press your spine back. Press the belly towards the spine. Breathe. Focus the gaze. Face of a Zen monk. Soften the jaw. And come on up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Curl your way down. 9. And this time, no tricks. Making your way all the way down, but in slow motion. 3, 2, and 1. Hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a gentle rock from side to side. Then take a wide space between the knees, one hand on either knee, wide space between the feet, and rock from side to side, far enough over to the side that you can take the back of the arm to the floor. So that supports you from not flopping all the way over onto one side. And feel that massage through tailbone, low back, back ribs, backs of the shoulders. And come to neutral. Wrap your arms around your legs, squeeze your knees together, and find stillness. Pull the shins down towards the thighs. Pull the thighs downwards into your torso. Pull the backs of the shoulders downwards into the mat. Resist the urge to fidget. Breathe into your low back. And take your feet to the floor. Slide your way over to the wall. So you'll want to lift up to come down. Unfortunately, that's what we have to do. Blanket available, something for under your head available. This is how I come up into the pose. I take my left hip close to the wall. Some of you know how to get there already, so feel free to move right into it. Left hip to the wall, and then swing your legs up towards the ceiling. Adjust yourself so that you feel relatively evenly aligned. Lift the soles of the feet towards the sky, and this is not a stretching pose. It is a total relaxation pose. So we're practicing legs up the wall or Viparita Karani as your final Shavasana. So if you get too close to the wall, your bum will start to walk up towards the ceiling, and you don't want to do that. So tailbone stays flat on the floor. Low back drops down towards the earth. Arms can be alongside of the body, palms facing up, maybe arms overhead. So whichever option that you take with the arms, if possible, rotate the palms to the sky. Take a moment to recall your resolution or your intention. Call to mind 3 things for which you are grateful. And maybe summon that feeling of abundance. Imagine anything that doesn't make the grateful list would be taken away. Then forget about drishti. Forget about goals and resolutions. Forget about intentions. Soften the brain. Feel heavy. Eyes can be closed. Feel the shin bones dropping down towards the knees. Feel the upper thighs dropping downwards into the pelvis. Feel the strength and stability of the pelvis with the low back grounded. Palms facing up, you can feel the collarbones widening and the backs of the shoulders releasing towards the floor. Relax the hands. Allow the fingers to curl softly inwards. Soften the jaw. Unclench the teeth. Allow the eyes to sink deep into their sockets. Allow the brain to release away from the forehead. We'll stay here for 4 minutes. Sort of a preparation for the meditative aspect of the class. For now, you can surrender to the downward pull of gravity. With every exhale, feel heavier. With every exhale, feel the earth rising up to support the weight of your body. With every exhale, feel heavy. And with every exhale, feel light, at peace, content, integrating the benefits of your practice. We'll take 5 more breaths. We'll start to make our way out of this pose, out of Shavasana. You can bring your feet flat against the wall. Ensure that your hips have not lifted up the wall towards the ceiling and that the low back is grounded. Draw the right knee into the chest, interlace your hands around the right leg. Draw the thigh in towards you as you press your left foot into the wall. Change sides, right foot to the wall, left knee drawing in. As you draw the left thigh in, press your right foot into the wall. And feel your tailbone moving towards the wall as you lengthen through the low back. Bring the right leg in, both legs into the chest. Wrap your arms around your legs. Rock gently from side to side. Then reach your right arm up overhead. Rock over onto your right side. Rest the head on the arm. Just take a couple of breaths here in this fetal-like position, sort of a transition from that final pose, your Shavasana, into our meditation. Press into your left hand and lift yourself up. Swing the legs forward, turn to face forward. Sit on a cushion if you like. So the meditative aspect here, sit on a chair, even if you like, whatever it is that enables your spine to remain long. And take the hands to the knees. A 10-minute meditation can be remarkably challenging, especially if you're a beginner. So how often in a day do you just sit and find stillness? Unless you practice yoga, then you have a meditative practice. So eyes remain closed, sitting bones rooting down, spine lengthening. And we'll just do a very basic breath awareness practice. See if you can focus your mind on your breath for just a single breath. That's the challenge. For one breath, don't think about anything else. Inhale, draw the breath, pull the breath downwards into the lower belly. Keep your upper chest still. And while you maintain the long spine, exhale, feel the belly softening back towards the spine. If you can, breathe in for a count of 4, and if that requires too much effort, then breathe in for a count of 3. Exhale for 1 second longer than your breath in. So if you inhaled for 4, breathe in for 5. Breathe out for 5. And if your inhale was 3 seconds, then exhale for 4. And without any frustration, notice the tendency of the mind to drift away, to move towards things that you need to do today, things that you wish you hadn't done yesterday. Otherwise, departing from that present moment awareness. Inhale, lower belly, side ribs, collarbones widen. Exhale, a softening inwards. Breathe in for a count of 4. Exhale for a count of 5. And although you can't see the people, visualize Sangha, community support. 22 people practicing meditative stillness with you. Again and again, back to the breath. Especially in the beginning, that might be what feels like 100 times. But that is the practice. It gets easier. Without moving the body, without fidgeting, bring your awareness back to your breath. Visualize infusing every cell of your body with life force energy. And then awaken the body. You can wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, rotate the wrists a couple of times in both directions. Inhale and reach the arms all the way up overhead. Press the palms of the hands together. Exhale, hands draw down through the heart center. Anjali Mudra. Call to mind the intention that you set at the beginning of the class. Then sealing our practice and infusing that intention with life force energy or prana. We take a deep breath in Namaste. Happy New Year.